suspend the rules, take item 21 from the calendar, please.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Was it 21?
Second.
21?
Yes.
Motion has been made and seconded to suspend the rules and take item 21 of the calendar. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. Clerk, please read item number 21.
Item number 21, Madam President, is an order, offered by Councilor Robert Van Campen that the City of Everett submit the question of whether to build a professional soccer stadium on Lower Broadway to the voters of Everett during the city's biennial municipal election, which is to be held in November of 2025.
Councilor Van Campen.
Thank you, Madam President. I understand that we have received a veto message from the mayor's office. Is that true?
Having trouble hearing. One second, guys.
Yep. Councilor Matusky.
I'm sorry. Thank you.
Could I ask that,
Yes.
could I move that the city clerk read the veto message out to the city
Yes.
council and
So
to the community?
So has received a message from the mayor in regards to this item. The clerk, if you can read the message, please.
Okay, the message is from the mayor. It is addressed to me as the clerk. Pursuant to Article 3, Section 3-6 of the Everett City Charter, I hereby return to you the above referenced measure with my objection of veto. I disapprove of this measure because this action was not taken by the City Council with the best interests of the residents in mind. This action was purely politically motivated. The comments made during multiple public meetings by members of the City Council reflect that the intent behind this measure was to serve as an expression of personal opinion on my leadership. This is an inappropriate basis for any official action. It is disappointing that this council continues to advance its own personal and political agendas instead of focusing on ways to support this community. I also disapprove of this measure because of the detrimental consequences it could have on future development interest in Everett. It is undisputable that as elected officials, we have an obligation to find ways to attract new growth and revenue sources. Supporting a non-binding referendum on prospective development sends the wrong message to investors that this city favors lengthy processes over finding ways to attract new growth that could provide tax relief to our residents. As members of the City Council noted during the most recent debate on this matter, a non-binding referendum creates a false sense of influence for residents. Instead of using this time to engage in meaningful discussions about the benefits that a project such as this should bring to this community and the issues that should be mitigated as part of this potential project, the City Council has chosen instead to take a stand on an item that will not have a meaningful impact on this community. It also should be noted that there have been multiple opportunities for residents to share their thoughts and opinions on the proposed project. There has been discussion about the proposed project at multiple city council meetings and at a community meeting specific to this project. Arguments that this referendum is the only way for the community to share their opinions and thoughts on this potential project have been proven false. Residents also should be aware that no member of the City Council has reached out to me with thoughts or suggestions about this project. Senator DiDomenico and I have shared information about this project with the City Council. No member of the Council has reached out to me to engage constructively on this issue. I would recommend that if you wish to engage in a meaningful discussion about a project that, as the sponsor of this order, publicly agreed has the potential to be transformative to this community, there are more effective ways to advance the best interests of the city of Everett residents. I hereby request that my objection on this matter be placed on the record of the City Council. Respectfully submitted, Mayor DeMaria.
Councilor Van Campen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate the veto message that the mayor has sent to us, but I have to say that it's both sad and comical at the same time that a mayor would affix his signature to this type of rambling veto message that is nothing more than the sort of standard gaslighting technique that this mayor has perfected during his 18 years in office. I frankly would have hoped, as a member of the city council, who took seriously this order and who took seriously the decision to put it on this agenda, that this mayor would have, given the solemn and serious nature of a veto message, handled this in a far more professional way. I understand that the mayor and I may disagree about what transparency and community engagement on an issue like this look like, but I would like to briefly, specifically address some of the more outlandish and incorrect, gaslighting that the mayor is engaging in with this veto message. These are quotes. "This action was purely politically motivated. It is disappointing that this council continues to advance its own personal and political agenda instead of focusing on ways to support this community." The irony is rich in the city tonight because this mayor has probably engaged in the greatest political stunt in the history of the city of Everett by his recent decision to sue the Inspector General over his longevity pay and send a citywide mailing to every house in this community over an issue he knew about 6 months ago. But we are the ones who are politically motivated to ask for greater engagement in this community. More quotes from the mayor. "Arguments that this referendum is the only way for the community to share their opinions and thoughts on this potential project have been proven false. I have never said, and I don't think any member of the city council has ever said, that a non-binding vote on this issue was the only way. That is patently wrong." Last quote. "No member of the council has reached out to me to engage constructively on this issue." Any member of this city council who has been here for the last 4 years, I challenge you to tell me of instances when this administration has reached out to you. The answer to that question is none of you have been engaged by this administration, because the mayor shows up 3 months every 4 years. That's how it works. The driving force behind this initiative, which I genuinely submitted back in April on, was to force greater engagement with the public by this mayor. Some of you might remember, this law was passed in November of 2024. It was months before the mayor had a community meeting in this chamber to discuss the project. That meeting was held the night before the legislature required the parties to go into mediation. There was no community engagement at all from the start. Now, we all might remember as well, there was another meeting, I believe it was in April, and then there was nothing. And guess when the next community meeting was held? After the city council voted to put this matter on the ballot. I'm not sure who has greater political motivation, this city council or this mayor. Here's the crux, and I'll end with this, of why I will always fight, and I hope the city council will always fight, for greater community engagement on a project of this scale. This mayor has a history of cozying up to developers to the detriment of this community. The Encore is a prime example of the mayor jumping in with a developer, negotiating a deal that, in my view, and the view of many in history's sort of long view now, left a great deal on the table. Hiring preferences, there were no commitments to hire Everett residents in that deal. It was, we will use good faith efforts to hire the people of Everett. Financial payments that have been proven to be woefully inadequate given the budget. My goal tonight at the end of the day is not to further divide this council or this community and ask for an override vote tonight on this veto. I understand the votes are not there to do that anyway. So I would simply move at this time, Madam President, that this gaslighting veto message be placed on file so that future generations can read what a mayor should not write to the city council.
Second.
Thank you. Motion has been made and seconded to place the veto message on file. On the motion, Council Rogers.
Madam President, on a note of personal privilege, I do appreciate Councilor Van Campen's effort to bring transparency to the stadium issue. And I have to say that I do take offense to the statement in this letter that no councilor has made an effort to engage constructively on this matter. I have attended every single meeting about this matter. I've spoke directly to the mayor's face at these meetings about constructive participation in this at my own detriment. I've received backlash for doing that. So I take offense being lumped in with members of the council that haven't acted productively. I've been extremely outspoken on this matter. I was the one that called for a community meeting for this in the first place. So I'm going to continue to be an independent thinker, and I'm going to criticize all sides. But that's just not a fact. I have been extremely vocal on this matter. Thank you.
Councilor Smith.
Thank you. And Councilor Rogers kind of took the words out of my mouth. I've been at every single community meeting and engaged directly with the mayor and have asked for specifics to be in the host agreement. So the fact that the councilors have not engaged, I've shown up at every meeting, as of many of these other councilors. We have given the feedback. I don't know how else we're supposed to give feedback other than community meetings where he's asking for feedback. So I also take offense to that. And I think a lot of us have sat here and given feedback. And it's sad that that was politically motivated to say that we haven't given feedback. We have. And it's just disappointing that the mayor doesn't consider, if we didn't give constructive feedback, what type of feedback was it that we gave? Thank you.
And from the chair, this council shouldn't have to attend the community meetings to get information from the mayor. The functional thing to do in American government is for the mayor to brief the council and to communicate with the legislative body, but we continue to find out whatever little information that's available from the internet, and we haven't seen the nitty-gritty that is affecting the people we serve. So I do also take offense, and that this letter is just unacceptable. Councilor Piantoni.
I mean, I agree with what all you guys say. I mean, we were at 2 meetings, and the crafts group put a beautiful presentation the first 2 times. It was all about them. It was all about the revolution. It was about their captain. It was about how many guys were on the team, about what they do for the community. That's all we heard these last 2 meetings. Nothing else about the construction of the stadium and what the city of Everett residents are going to get. Nothing. It was just all about the crafts and in the revolution and how good they are and how they treat the community. I mean, it was just. It actually was insulting. I didn't even get up to speak that last meeting because I just couldn't stand listening to the revolution and how good the crafts are and this and that. So I take offense to that letter, the mayor's response, and it's just, why not just put it on the ballot? That's all we're asking. Put it on the ballot. If we all want to be here for the residents, put it on the ballot to see what the residents feel. But for some reason, the mayor doesn't want to put it on the ballot, which is unfortunate, It's just another sad day in Everett.
Council Marchese?
I also go on record to say that I'm very disappointed that the people of Everett don't have a vote. What goes on in their city, it's outrageous. That's why I thought this one would have been something nice to get a feedback to see how the people feel, so they're not blaming this on the council. The council 100% wants feedback. And to sit there and see people, billionaires, that can't even open their pocketbook and say, here's what we're going to do for the city of Everett. Oh, they're going to let us look at the water? I'll go on the bridge and look at the water. I don't need to go there for $500,000 a year. Big deal. They're going to clean it up? Great. It's their building. They should clean it up. They have the money to do it and resources. And to hear that the only thing that can be built there is a stadium, sealed the deal on what a sleazy backroom deal this was by all involved, and I'm sorry. I just didn't appreciate hearing that comment. You mean to tell me, so if the stadium doesn't go there, it's going to stay dirty forever? I doubt it. That's prime real estate.
Council Alice Joboin?
I think this whole body of council has been at one meeting or another, whether it was discussion on the council, and to have this letter back from the administration, personally, I'm not surprised. I didn't think that he was going to go for it, but it's insulting to say that we are not involved, or we're not vocal about it, or we have not reached out to him, and to think that it's politically motivated. And for him to send this letter to the whole city, telling us more lies, I mean, if audacity was a person, it would be this administration.
And for the
Thank you.
record, the council, I believe Councilor Rogers' piece was to invite them to provide an update to the council, which instead they created a community meeting led by the administration and completely left the council out of even the name of inviting people. And again, the meeting occurred after the ballot question. So, and I believe I may have had a piece on the agenda too, inviting them to provide the project and the actual plot plan details, architecture, so we can see the details, and that hasn't happened. But so we do have a motion. Councilor Garcia, you're the final speaker.
No, very quickly, Madam President, thank you. I was just going to say that is a fantastic idea. If we're not putting on the ballot, we need to continue with community meetings. We need to have them up here showing presentations so that the public is aware of what's going on.
Sure, and we have done that twice, and then they just have community meetings instead of speaking to the council. Matusky.
Thank you, Madam President. You know, a few weeks ago, we had an opportunity to send this to the mayor to put it on the ballot. I happen to think, and I talk to a lot of people, especially this time of year, that most people are in favor of it that I talk to. To look at that unsightly smokestack and the mess that's behind the fence there for years and years, and what used to come out of those chimneys there. And, you know, the problem I have is the casino was explained to the community, and it was 98% people voted in favor of it because it was promoted correctly. It showed what, that was really a mess. The Monsanto land chemicals, and just a real disaster. And it's not much better across the street. But something has to go there. And, you know, I voted against the lithium thing, that 25 acres of batteries. That's 100 acres. So that's a quarter of what I thought was going to be entertainment, hotels, something really pleasurable for that area that's put up with so much. We have an opportunity to do something with this unsightly property. I happen to feel, and I don't know how many other people feel this way, but I voted to put it on the ballot. So, give people an opportunity. But it's never really properly been promoted. And I can't figure that part out. This organization, the crap people, the Patriots, I mean, come on. If they explained it more, maybe I don't know who's to blame for that, to be honest with you. But we have an opportunity to have that waterfront area and connect with the casino. And hopefully that Davis company will go in a different direction rather than that battery storage facility. Now, I know some people were in favor of it, but the ultimate end of 25 acres is going to have 6 employment opportunities, 2 for security and a couple of landscapers and 2 men that work there, a woman. So, we have to really look at these projects and say, what's the best thing? But, it's not going on the ballot, evidently, and I happen to think it would have won. But I've watched these community meetings, and it appears to me that most people were in favor. That's the way it appears to me. But it's not going on the ballot, evidently. So here we are, and if they have an opportunity to promote it a little bit more, a lot more, I should say. But I agree with my colleague's statement. I want to see that area cleaned up. That's the entrance into Everett. All these people visiting the casino look to the right, they say, what is all this? You got LNG, you've got, the vacant property now, and I'm hoping the Davis Company goes in the right direction with what they're doing. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. So the motion has been made and seconded to keep it diplomatic, to place it on file. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? The ayes have it. The item has been placed on file.